San Francisco morning. I'm about to be on my way to the airport for the flight to Jacksonville. This sets up as a get-right opportunity for the 49ers defense, and I'll tell you one thing, they better take advantage of this get-right opportunity, because if they don't, you can really, truly sound the alarm bells, and I think in many ways the alarm bells have already been sounded for the 49ers defense. I was sounding them even earlier in the season than this past two-game stretch, which has been really bad. Remember back in week 2, I said that the run defense wasn't good, that the run defense was actually bottom half of the league, despite the fact that it had been a top 2 run defense in the prior 2 seasons. I thought those were the first cracks, but the 49ers offense managed to cover those up back when it was fully healthy with Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel, and Christian McCaffrey, because the 49ers were just explosively blowing everybody out. So that meant that the 49ers run defense wasn't exposed nearly as much as it could have been. Run defense got way more exposed in closer games. Cleveland, Minnesota, Cincinnati. And then the rest of the problems have followed downstream. Steve Wilks, some bad play calls. Steve Wilks has changed up some of the coverages. He's made them more complex. The 49ers have long said that they didn't expect their defense to be as good at the start of the year as it would be at the end of it, because they would have to integrate what Steve Wilks was doing. But now, I mean, it's like the all-star break in baseball, right? The bye week and the trade deadline is behind the 49ers. It's time to hit their stride. As far as a get-well opportunity goes, I love this matchup for the 49ers because, first, Jacksonville's offense isn't great. They're number 13 DVOA. It's a bad offensive line, second to worst in pass block and run block win rate. But their leading receiver, Evan Engram, is a tight end. He's a 6'3" tight end. What does that mean? Well, it means that it should be a perfect matchup for Isaiah Oliver and the 49ers. Isaiah Oliver has been a problem piece on this defense against shiftier slot receivers at his nickelback position. But Engram is a bigger target. Remember, Isaiah Oliver's best game might have been against the New York Giants when he had to cover Darren Waller, the tight end, who lines up as a receiver. So I think that this naturally allows the 49ers to put Oliver in a place where he can succeed. And then you've got Christian Kirk, who's obviously a really good shiftier slot. That's where Deommodore Lenoir moves inside. It's about covering well enough to make Trevor Lawrence take an extra hitch or two. I think just one hitch is enough if you got Chase Young, Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave working against one of the worst offensive lines in football. So the key is simple. Coverage has to fuel the rush for the 49ers, and I think they have the matchups on the coverage edge to be able to do that against Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence. They also have to rush in a disciplined fashion because Trevor will take off and run the football. He is of the plus mobility category, we'll just put it that way. Travis Etienne, that's a test for the 49ers linebackers. At the end of the day, the 49ers have an advantage over Jacksonville's offense. They have to call the plays and they have to execute the plays correctly to turn this around.